Hey, everybody. I hope you are having a great day. It is Monday and it is the start to the Yes, I Can Masterclass, which is running every day this week. I'm going to take just a minute, and I know I'm a few seconds early, and just let people get on in the various places. Technology is amazing. We are streaming in the Facebook group, we are streaming live on LinkedIn, and I am streaming live on YouTube. So welcome to the Yes I Can Masterclass. I am super excited that you have joined me. I am Kathy Alessandra, your Yes I Can coach, and I'm going to be the one who is teaching this class over the next 5 days. So if you are using StreamYard and you're in our Facebook group, I would love to know that you are there. I'm going to be talking and asking questions, and I would love to get your feedback, get your comments, hear from you. To be able to do that, for me to be able to see that on the dashboard, I need you to give StreamYard access to your profile so that your name actually pops up on my screen. So again, if you're in the Yes I Can collaborative Facebook group, if you're not, you need to get over there and join that group, because we've got a lot going on over there, everything from journal prompts and inspiration, all that. But anyway, if you give StreamYard permission, and that way I can see your comments. And then in the other places, I can see your comments after the call. So again, welcome. If you have signed up on the kathyalessandra.com/Yes I Can Masterclass sales page or web page, you did get a workbook, a download workbook. And you would have gotten that in one of the first emails that I sent out. It is a 27-page workbook. It's actually the Yes I Can Lifestyle Planner and Blueprint. And we're going to actually be using that through some of what we're doing over the next few days. Some of you may have seen it before. You may be familiar with it. If you want to be able to have that workbook, I just need you to go over to that and opt in on my website, and that way you'll get the email immediately that has that link, has the download for you. So again, if you go to kathyalessandra.com, you can see the spelling of my name here, either / Yes I Can Masterclass, or on the top of the homepage, just click the word Masterclass, and that'll take you to the page to sign up to actually get that workbook. So you, again, might want to do that so that you've got that accessible for you. So these classes and the way this is going to run, it is going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific time every day this week, Monday through Friday, which makes it, well, with the time change and all, I mean, it's like, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Each day is going to build on the next. So, now today we're going to start with step 1 of the 5-step yes method. Tomorrow is 2, right? So each piece is building on the next piece. But if you can't make it, if you've got something else going, no worries, because the recordings are going to be available. If you've opted in, you'll get the email. You'll get an email with the recording link sent to you at the end of each day around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. Or in the Facebook group here, you can always come back and access the recordings as well as on the YouTube page. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about Yes I Can and what Yes I Can is all about. First of all, in fact, I made a post on social media this morning about no, right? No being a complete sentence. I am the Yes I Can coach, and I'm asked all the time, as the Yes I Can coach, how do you say no? Well, I have learned to use my no abundantly and my yes strategically. And that is an important piece of living your Yes I Can life, because you need to know what's most important to you. And those are the things that you are saying yes to. All the rest of it can get the no, the maybe, the not yet, the whatever, but the things that are most important to you in life, those are the things that you need to be saying yes to. Whether it is growing your business, whether it is stepping into a relationship, maybe it's a health goal that you're working towards. Maybe it is saying yes to volunteering somewhere, right? It's all areas of your life and what you're doing, and really getting clear in what matters most to you and saying yes to those things, getting out of the fear, getting out of the doubt, getting out of all those things, the distractions, right? The things that stop us, so that we can really lean into this idea of living our Yes I Can life. Now, let me take a step back for a second and talk a little bit about this idea of hustle and yes and go, go, go and FOMO and all those other things, right? I was watching somebody else's live the other day, and she was talking about this idea of, as we're stepping back into the world and what's going on, right? People are still kind of in that half in, half out, on the fence, not fully over, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And believe me, I understand this idea of, we've had a lot of rethinking of values, rethinking of priorities, rethinking of where we want to be in our lives. We don't want the hustle bustle. We don't want the push, 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 right? We've learned that over these last few years that there's more to life than the hustle and the work and all that, right? But it's balancing those two, right? With that said, we are also on the eve of election. We are facing some challenges in our economy. People are in place that fear, financial fear-based place as well, right? And so there's this bit of uneasiness as we're moving forward and looking at the new year and looking at how things are going to go. But what I want to challenge you as we're going through this class, as we're going through these next 5 days together, is taking a look within and taking a look deep within, right? And again, what is most important to you, and how do you want to live your life? How do you want to show up in your life? How do you want to be there for the people in your life, right? And that is going to require some effort. That is going to require some commitment. It may require some hustle. It may require some financial commitment or investment, right? Whatever that is in what you're doing and where you're going. Where do you want to be a year from now? Do you want to be in the same exact place? Or are you wanting to say yes and make 2023 really your year of yes? Strategic yeses and abundant no's. And you can do that. You can make 2023 your year if you put some of these tools in place, if you get serious about what you're looking forward to in the future and how you're going to implement that. So when I talk about Yes, I Can, including all areas of your life, I am talking about your business or your career. I know we have people on here listening who are career women, or business owners, right? So it's looking at that. It's family. Where does family fall into place for you? And whether you've got kids or whether it's extended family or whatever it is, right? Physical health and well-being. Oh my gosh. Physical health and well-being is so important. We have to be looking at that. We have to be thinking about where's the priority in that. Physical environment. Do you love where you live? Do you like your workspace, right? Do you, even your car? What are you doing in your physical environment that fills you every day, that fills your soul, that gives you that yes, I can attitude? Like my lipstick on the mirror in the bathroom. Talk about that later. Spirituality or religion or relationship with that higher power, right? If you are someone who is called to have that relationship with a higher power, are you leaning into that? Are you honoring that? Are you spending time in prayer or meditation or whatever that looks like for you? Life balance, life integration. I know balance is such a hard word there because, when we look at time management and we look at business and family, that work-life balance, right? But how are we finding harmony in that? Really harmony. It's not even integration. It's how are you finding harmony in where you're spending time in your personal life, where you're spending time in your business life? Is there a give and a take, a flow, a receive, all that kind of thing. So we have to look at that. Friends, family, significant others, finances. Where do you feel your finances coming into the 2023? Are you empowered with your numbers? Your numbers may be low, but are you empowered with the knowledge of where it's going? Volunteerism. So all of these things play into Yes, I Can living and really living that best life for you. But let me tell you a little story before we get too far into this, because I know I have some new people who are watching this and may not be familiar with me and what I stand for and how Yes, I Can even came to be. So let me share a little story with you. And if you've heard this story before, just bear with me a minute for the newer people. So once upon a time, there was a woman who was extremely unhappy and discontent in a lot of areas of her life. Things were hard, things were difficult. She was, her business was moving along. It wasn't growing, it wasn't dying, but it certainly wasn't thriving. She had a big business, 6-figure business, but it was just kind of sitting there and moving along. She had a marriage on the brink of divorce that she was trying to save, basically. She had a child who was struggling with some serious issues of his own that he needed to be dealing with. And she was, again, trying to save him and fix him and how that was all going to look and work through. A mindset of, I don't want to say failure, but not success, right? In the sense that, some people say things to us in our lives that stick with us for a long, long time, and we need to learn to let those go. and was told, how do you expect to hold an intelligent conversation without a college degree, right? That can bring your level of confidence down with that, right? When somebody says that. Anyway, when you take all these things into it, she had literally numbed all those feelings of unhappiness, discontent, sadness, fear, frustration, control, right? All those things with food, and had quite literally put on a ton of weight by stuffing food down her throat to make it better. And that woman is me. That woman is me. And that was me up until 2014, where I was really struggling in a lot of different areas. Now, I had a 6-figure business. I had a couple of magazines I was publishing. I ended up selling later on. But I've been where you may be, struggling with this divorce or a child or the success level in my business or my health, right? I've been there, I've done it, and I've walked through it. And that's really how the Yes, I Can method was born, because I walked it, I lived it. I don't teach or preach anything that I haven't done myself. It's not that I'm perfect, and I still walk it every single day, just like you, right? But as much as I can, I embody that yes, I can attitude so that I can live my best life, so that I'm there for the people that matter most to me in my life. I know what my priorities are. I know where my values are, and I know what is most important for me. Yes, I can is a mindset, it is a mantra, and it is a motivation for success for me. And it can be for you too. Yes, I can is that mindset when you are facing something difficult, a health challenge, maybe a diagnosis, or losing weight, or a business call that you need to make that you're not wanting to make, right? It's like the little engine that could. Remember that one? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. It's yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Right? In those dark moments, in those moments where you're not sure what's going to happen and where it's going to go and what that's going to actually look like, it's a mantra. It's a mantra that I've got to. I mentioned it before. I have it in lipstick on my bathroom mirror. Yes, I can. In all those things, I've got it on my. I have it on my water bottle. I have it all kinds of places, right? It's a mantra for me. What's your mantra? It's the motivation for success for me, because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so being able to move forward in that and say, yes, I can. I got this. I can do it. Maybe I need to shift, or I need to tweak, or I need to change. But yes, I can do this. And you can too. You can make 2023 your year of yes. So when I began this in 2014, it became clear there were 3 pillars that were part of the Yes, I Can movement. And if you've seen my classes before, you're probably familiar with them, and I'm not going to take a deep dive into those during that class. The 3 pillars are self-care, sacred space, and support, right? Self-care in all areas. It's not just, going to the spa and having that massage. It's self-care in all areas. In my book, I explain a lot about that. It's sacred space. Sacred space is that, yes, that space to have time, to have boundaries, to make the commitments and the obligations and the commitments clear, and that kind of thing, right? It is your physical space, it is your mental space, it is your relational space, it is all those pieces that come together. And then support, right? Getting support in all areas of your life. It's not just one area or none, right? It's masterminds in business, it's business coaches or life coaches. It's maybe having to going to a support group, joining an association, whatever that is, finding the support. So there's 3 pillars that are essential to that Yes, I Can life. And you really need all 3 of those in your life to live that Yes, I Can life. And I'm happy to explain more about that personally if you've got more questions. The 4 guiding principles are be big, be bold, be bright, and be you. 4 guiding principles. These are, again, I'm not going to take a deep dive because I've taught these before, although I'm happy to talk to you individually about them. So this idea of being big is dreaming big. What's your big why? What are you doing? How are you going to dream big? Be bold is like stepping up courageously and living that life that you're meant to live, right? Showing up however you're meant to show up in your business, in your relationships, again, in all areas of your life. Be bright is all about resilience and perseverance. And, we have so many distractions. We have things, we have obstacles, we have all these things that come up against us. And it's really learning to say, yes, I can do this when I'm facing some of the toughest challenges of my life, right? Be bright, be resilient, and be you. Oh, that's the most important thing here, right? We get so mired in the competition, looking on Facebook and seeing what other people are doing, checking out social media posts, or, we see somebody else walk down the street who looks better than we think we do or whatever. And we just, especially as women, we are so cruel to ourselves in the way that we judge ourselves against everybody else. And what I want to say to this is, you are exactly who you're meant to be at exactly this right time that you're in. And you need to own that, and you need to show up as you. That is what Yes, I Can is all about. Okay. And really embodying that, really leaning into that and being your best self. So those are the 3 pillars and the 4 principles that started all of this for the Yes, I Can journey for me, and how I bounced back. So that woman that was going through all those difficult things, was facing a divorce, and I am divorced now, was facing a child who was struggling, and he is thriving now, was facing a business that was, I sold both businesses and fully stepped into coaching, 8 years ago, and who just needed to find that Yes, I Can living with my health. And that's where it started for me, quite frankly. It was that very first thing that I said yes, I can to. When I look at the yes wheel, which we're going to talk about in a minute, that was the thing that was the most important thing. It was a high priority for me for so many reasons. You're absolutely welcome for sharing that. It is so many reasons why I had to start with my health. And I ended up losing at that time 75 pounds. And it was a release in so many ways, right? Because I knew that I needed to take care of me. I needed to say, yes, I can to me. There is nothing selfish about it. There is nothing self-centered about it. Nothing. Here's the thing. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this before, right? If you don't fill yourself first, if you can't pour into yourself first, how are you going to pour and give to anybody else? My kids, my business, my relationship, any of those things. So we've got to find that way to fill ourselves first, so that we can really pour into others. And that, again, is where these 3 principles and 3 pillars and the 4 guiding principles started with. And in that, yes, I can. And in that moment for me, when I was, oh my gosh, 220 some pounds, trudging on a treadmill, trying to keep going, saying, yes, I can, right? And this moment, this aha moment for me, sorry, the trash truck is just pulling up, of course. That moment for me when I'm looking at a mirror, and it was actually almost exactly this time of year, that many years ago. It was the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And I was on a treadmill at a gym with a bank of mirrors, those mirrors that you hate staring at yourself in. Like, why do they have those mirrors in front of me? I know it's for proper form, but still. And a woman walked in with a black T-shirt with big bling, sparkly writing that said, "One woman can." One woman can. You can. Yes, you can. And that's exactly what I said to me in that moment. You can. Yes. Yes, you can. And that is the moment, the absolute moment that Yes, I Can was born. And I started to walk my path of what that looked like. So what is your Yes, I Can moment? Does it have to be that moment where somebody walks in and you see something? Maybe it's driving. You ever seen a billboard? You're driving and there's a billboard there and you're like, oh yeah, that message is for me. Or maybe that email comes in, or maybe you read something or whatever it is. You have that Yes, I Can moment. You're like, yeah, I need to do this. I need to lean into this. I need to do more of this. But what is this? So the 5-step yes method that I'm going to be teaching these next 5 days, and we're going to start with step 1, was developed during all of this. So the yes method is discover it, own it, love it, design it, and live it, right? So today we are going to dive into this first step, which is discovering it. And obviously this is the most important step, right? We really need to get clear exactly what that yes, I can is for you. What is that yes that you were saying no to, or maybe hesitating with, or maybe not fully stepping into because of fear or doubt, or somebody else has said something, or you're putting yourself out in a big way and you're scared to do that. There's so many things. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that tomorrow. But do you know, I see there's a few of you who are commenting on here. I'd love to hear. Do you know what your big yes is? Do you know what your why is? Do you know why you're leaning into it? Do you know why it matters to you, right? So the first thing I'm going to have you do, and maybe you've already done it if you have the workbook, is this yes wheel, the yes wheel. And it's got all these different areas that we need to think about. The things that I mentioned before, right? It's career and business. it's love, it's health, it's finances, it's physical environment, it's physical attitude, it's volunteerism, philanthropy, it's fun, it's friends, right? And what I'm going to have you do, if you haven't already done that, is to look at all these areas on this circle and give it a score. It's like 1 to 10. 10 being, I got this, Kathy. I don't need to be thinking about this. That is something that I have nailed and I'm good at it. 0 is, wow, I am really struggling and I really am finding discontent and harmony and unhappiness in that. And so, wow, it's a wake-up call that this is really something I need to do. These numbers are going to change. I have my clients do these every 3 or 6 months, where we step in and we reevaluate that and look, and things will change. Some numbers will go up, some numbers will go down, right? But it's a starting place for you, because sometimes we don't know the what's actually affecting us. And in fact, I was working with somebody recently, and even she said, as we were working together, when I really looked at this and didn't really realize that this was an area that had affected me so much. And so I need to take a look at that. And what does that mean? And while you might not be able to flip it overnight, right? Because there's a process, maybe if we're working on finances or business or relationships or whatever. But if we start putting more time and attention and positive energy towards it, right? The workbook, Sherry, is actually, you should have, when you first registered for this class, the very first email should have had a link at the bottom that said download workbook here. But you know what? I will include that link in today's recap, just in case you didn't get it. So again, I'll be sending out a recap of today's call along with the recording link, and I will put that. So look at the bottom of that email today. I will put the link again for you to be able to download the workbook so that you can get that. But so to discover it, we need to peel back some of those layers. Really looking at this and thinking about, why is it important to me? What is it that's stopping me? Why is it that that I've not allowed this to happen? But in a way, right, we get so busy with life. Things are going on, or maybe we're suffering for some struggles, and so we're not wanting to face some of these challenges, right? And when we actually put a number to it and look at what that is and how can we shift it, how can we change it, right? We can put some goals associated with it then, or we can put some dreams associated with it. Maybe you've got a big dream on something and you're really not moving into that because you're not sure and you didn't realize how important it really was to you. And yet you're allowing the other things to take place in a bigger, bolder way, right? So it's really getting clear about what's most important to you. What's most important to you? I'm sitting in comfort, which hinders on that. Yes, it does. It does, right? So have you ever heard the saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable? I'm sure. I don't know who's commenting because it's not showing me the names on this one. If you give StreamYard permission, then it'll show the name. But that's so critical here, right? There is nothing comfortable about success. There is nothing comfortable about living your yes. There is nothing comfortable about going out and living your best life. Because you know what? It takes risk. It takes perseverance. It takes things, how many times a perfect example, right? This person who said to me, years and years ago when I was probably 20 years old when this person said to me, how do you expect to hold an intelligent conversation without a college degree? When I had made the choice not to go back to ASU. Well, first of all, I think I'm doing pretty well holding that conversation. But I held on to that because somebody else had reflected to me their thoughts. And then I held on to it like this. Like I didn't let go of it until 15 years later? And how did that actually hinder me? Because I didn't want to get uncomfortable, right? In being out there and talking about it, right? At that time, here's a little sidebar. At that time, nobody knew that I didn't have a college degree. I did not talk about it. No way, because I was so ashamed by that fact that, I live in an area where USC and UCLA, everybody went to one of the, well, it seemed like everybody went to those two colleges, right? And in this particular area. And so everybody would be comparing notes. And so for me to say, yeah, well, I didn't graduate from college, right? It was a very difficult thing for me. But by getting out of that uncomfortableness, right? And becoming comfortable with who I am and how I show up and what I really do, and that I do provide value to people, and that I did have a very successful business, right? I have no problem talking about it now. No problem whatsoever. But I let that hold me back because I didn't realize how much that piece had affected my mindset. But it also was, I mean, my kids didn't even know it until they were in, I don't know, middle school or high school, maybe even. So how can you figure out what's most important to you and get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? If somebody is telling you, yeah, that's not really the thing you should be doing, or I don't think that's really a great idea. Are they walking in your shoes? Do they know what challenges you face? Do they know? Are they an entrepreneur? Have they, yes, there are people that we need to go to, business coaches and mentors and all kinds of people who can give us ideas and some great, wonderful feedback. But we got to make sure that they are on the same page with what our goals and dreams are too, right? And sometimes we still need to lean into that uncomfortableness so that we can live that greatest life. And it's going to take a little pushing into getting through how we can actually move through and find that yes for us, right? Making 2023 your year of yes is going to be probably the most uncomfortable thing you've ever done in your life. Because if it's a goal around business and you're stepping up in a bigger way, and maybe you're showing up on video, or I mean, who likes to, there's nothing comfortable about this, right? Now, I have no idea who all's watching. There's nothing comfortable about it. Maybe it's showing up in, saying that you've got health goals and that you're actually reaching out for some of that stuff. And somebody else says, yeah, right, I'll believe it when I see it, right? Or in relationships, right? It was a very difficult time when I went through a divorce after 29 years of marriage, I might add, right? In relationships and rebuilding relationships, not only with a new partner, but in relationships with friends and how they saw that and what was really going on, right? So it's all those things. So making 2023 your year of yes and deciding what is most important to you. Now, it can't be a gazillion things, right? I'm talking about having 2, maybe 3 things for you as you're looking at the new year of what is most important for you to step into. It may be launching a new product or launching a business, period. It may be being out there better or more visibly. It may be a health issue. It may be running a marathon. It may be losing weight. It could be a plethora of different things. It may be getting into a relationship or ending a relationship. That's not easy. It could be having kids. I mean, again, it's what's most important to you. When are you looking at it? And it's getting clear on what that is. And the place to start is the yes wheel. That is where I want you to start. And again, I will send that again in today's recap. Start with the yes wheel. And then what I want you to do in your homework. But I promise you, if you do this work this week, you are going to find some amazing things going with it. The homework is to be able to take a look at the numbers. Once you've done the yes wheel and you've given each thing a score, take a moment and really look at what has become most evident to you. And is it a surprise? Is it a surprise that was a low number for you and that maybe you need to do some work in that area? And then start thinking about what you can do to shift or change that, right? How can you become more aware of it in your daily life? What does that look like? What do you need to release? What do you need to release to make this happen, right? Sometimes it is releasing a thing. Sometimes it's releasing a person. Sometimes it's releasing a belief. That's a big one. That belief we have in ourselves. We've got to dream to discover what that yes is for us, right? When we look at really what is most important, I've got some big goals and some big dreams for 2023. Everything from relationships. I've got 2 girls getting married, to some new things that I'm doing in my business. I'm actually haven't talked about it yet. It's not out there, but I am doing another big women's conference in March of this coming year. So you do the Success Summit with a couple hundred women, leaning into that. And other things that are coming up, right? So it's really looking at that and figuring out what's most important to you. Is it your finances? Do you need to do something so that you feel more secure in your finances? Why is that important to you, right? So really, it is of utter importance to be able to live this year of yes, figuring out and deciding what is most important to you and why. Because when you've made that decision, it makes your yes, I can so much easier to commit to. And you've got to commit. You've got to commit to that yes. Get uncomfortable? Yes. The distractions and the obstacles, you've got to find a way around them. We got to move through the fear and the doubt and the questioning, right? And you can when you use the mantra, yes, I can, because you know what that why is. You know what's most important to you, and you know why you're doing it. You know why you're doing it, right? And so while things may be scary as we look into the new year, and finances may seem unstable, and the world may seem a little scary, and with everything that's going on with the world versus elections here in the US, and business may be questioning whether do I launch a new product or do I close my doors, do I go get a job, what do I do, right? But when you take a moment to really look at where your values are, where your priorities are, why you're doing what you're doing, you can lean into living that year of yes for you, because you're going to be very clear on what those strategic yeses are for you to be able to live that best life, and how you can use no abundantly, period. No explanation necessary, because you are moving forward in potentially your God-given purpose or passion. You are moving forward in what you've heard is most important for you and for your family. And you've got that why. You know why you're doing what you're doing. And that makes things so much easier to say yes and no. So again, I will send the, let me see, there was a question. It's crazy how much power we allow. Oh my gosh, right? So crazy. What if it's three things and they each feel like they need a singular focus? Well, we're going to talk about that too. We do need to get singularly focused, because sometimes when we have too many things that we're going after and we're not really quite sure why or how, right? It can become overwhelming. And when things become overwhelming, then a lot of times we just shut down. We just shut down. And that's not what I want for you. That's not what Yes, I Can living is really all about. And that's not you living your year of yes, your 2023, right? So being able to really know what that is and getting clear, getting super clear. And the first thing we need to do is really look at this yes wheel. Where are we finding discontent and unhappiness? What are we going to do to change it? Why? And what is that dream that's around that? What is that thing for 2023 that is your year of yes thing that you want to move forward in? Okay, so that's tonight's homework per se. I would love to hear from you in the Yes I Can Women's Collaborative, or the comments here. I see some comments. I'm not exactly sure who all they are, but I will get on Facebook and be able to see who the comments are from. Tomorrow we will be back again at 11 a.m. Pacific time in all the same places that you're watching the streaming. Around 3 o'clock Pacific time is when the recap goes out with the recording links. And again, I will put that workbook link in there again. I just want to finish with one final thought. And I'm going to talk about this throughout this class. Yes, I can. There is a philosophy that kind of goes around this. And I want you to think about my red lipstick. I love my red lipstick too. Thank you. There's a thing that I want you to think about around this. And I will send this at some point in your in one of the follow-ups. So yes, I can is a mindset. I talked about that. A mindset, a mantra, and motivation. But it starts as a mindset. It starts with I can do this. I deserve this. I got this, right? And really leaning into that yes, I can for the year and the moment. And far away, right up close. Mindset drives motivation. When we've got a positive mindset, when you wake up in the morning and you set yourself up for success for the day, and I talk a lot about that too, how we need to set ourselves up for success, whatever that looks like for you, it will drive your motivation for the day. It will drive you moving forward, because you know what it is you want. You know what your yes, I can is. You know why you're doing what you're doing. It will drive your motivation. Motivation inspires action. Motivation inspires action. When we are motivated to do something, we are going to get that to-do list. We're going to write it down on our phone. We're going to check it off as the day goes on, right? Motivation, when we are motivated, it inspires us to act and to move forward in the direction we're going. Action creates success. You got to have forward movement. You've got to have action to find that success in any area of your life. If you are not moving, you are not going to find the success. You are not going to be able to sit here in your seat and find success by not doing anything, right? I'm not saying you need to do a million things all at once. We need focused action, like we talked about over here. But you do need to have action. You need to keep moving forward. Success breeds creativity, right? When things are going in flow for you, when you are in a place of success, and I'm talking about even the tiniest success, tiniest success, right? Doesn't need to be some huge major thing. I'm talking about each little win that you're having. That breeds creativity, right? How many times do you have a creative thought because something else is working? Oh, I could add this, or I could do that, or I should try this, right? So success breeds creativity. Creativity empowers mindset. When you are creative, it empowers that mindset of moving forward and knowing that you are doing exactly as you're supposed to be doing, that you are living that best life, that yes, I can life, and that next year or that next month or that next day or next hour can be your moment of yes, I can. So that's how I wanted to finish today's call. Anyway, I am so grateful. Thank you so many of you joining me here. I look forward to spending the next remainder 4 days together with you, really sharing this. Tomorrow, we are going to step into owning your yes, right? We're going to discover it. That's what the tools that you've got today to kind of peel back some layers and discover it. You're very welcome. Tomorrow, we're going to learn how to own it. No excuses. I've heard them all. If you want to step into owning it, tomorrow's your day. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Until then, you take care, and I'll see you on social or maybe around town, or who knows. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.